The reason I'm doing this particular video this way, one, I do not know how to edit. Two, it's 10 times easier to just live stream it. And so I don't ramble. I have a script and an essay that I will be reading from. My name is Marissa. I have something called Huntington's disease. It's an inherited condition in which nerve cells in the brain break down over time. As of right now, there is no cure, but there are treatments to help with symptoms. Medical diagnosis through blood tests is a must. It affects 1 in 10,000. You can be affected at any age, but it typically starts in a person's 30s to 40s. Every person who has it experiences different symptoms at different times, but usually it results in one thing: death. Now, before I go on to this lovely thing and my story, I'd like to name a few famous people who have had it or still have it. Number 1 would be Woody Guthrie, the folk music legend. Charles Ebbing, the NBC News TV journalist. Trey Gray, drummer for Kunks and Dunn. And Mariana Palka, who starred in Netflix's Glow. Now, my story. I never thought in a million years that my mom or myself would be diagnosed with a disease like Huntington's. I also wouldn't have thought that I could possibly have it too. According to the Huntington's Disease Society of America, HD is a fatal genetic disorder that causes progressive breakdown of the nerve cells in the brain. It deteriorates a person's physical and mental abilities during their prime working years and has no cure. It also goes on to say HD is known as the quintessential family disease because every child of a parent with HD has a 50-50 chance of carrying the faulty gene. Today, there are approximately 30,000 symptomatic Americans and more than 200,000 at risk of inheriting the disease. The fact that my mom would be taken away from me because of this blew my mind. The disease itself did not cross my mind as a life-changing thing at the time of my mom's diagnosis. But I learned in time how this would affect me in the long run. I'm still learning how to cope with my mom and myself having Huntington's. Sorry, this is hard for me to talk about. And yes, this is a paper that I wrote like 2 years ago for one of my college classes. But when it comes to this stuff, talking about this, I tend to, just don't talk about it. Just leave it in the back of my mind. I believe I was in 7th or 8th grade when we found out. My mom was told she has 10 to 15 years left to live. She was given medicine and information about the disease. We also learned that it was a genetic thing that she got from her father. We didn't know at the time how difficult this would make our lives as a family. I thought nothing of it at the time because I didn't know how devastating this really was. I wasn't on that I would have to be tested as well. This thought that I have a chance of actually having it scared me. It dawned on me every once in a while that this could potentially rule my life. According to the uh, according to the HDSA, genetic testing for children is typically prohibited before the age of 18, as the child may not understand the full implications of testing and may be vulnerable to pressure from others. However, a child under the age of 18 may be tested to confirm a diagnosis of juvenile onset HD after a thorough neurological exam. I tried to get tested for it when I was 16 or 17, but I was told I had to wait until I was 18. I didn't know it was prohibited. I was mad that I had to wait. I wanted to find out then, but I got over it. It's been several years since that happened, but we don't know what's going to happen. Oh, Jesus. What's going to happen for us in the coming years? Symptoms can include personality changes, mood swings, and depression, forgetfulness and impaired judgment, unsteady gait and involuntary movements, or chorea, slurred speech, difficulty in swallowing, and significant weight loss. My mom has to be showered and dressed daily. Her bed sheets have to be stripped and remade daily. She has to take certain pills with food at certain times. She often stays up all night and is asleep when I leave for school in the morning. She forgets things easily, like recording something. She records a lot of shows and never watches them or deletes them. Then my dad and I can't watch what we want. Over the past few years, my mom's symptoms have gotten progressively worse. It's to the point where my dad and I have to put her in a nursing home. The state said that my dad has to divorce my mom in order to get the help she needs. My also I can't read today. My dad also wanted me to get power of attorney over her because she can't talk or write like she used to. But all that kind of fell down the rabbit hole. When I turned 18, I had my dad make an appointment to go get tested for Huntington's. We went up there only to find out that the doctor I was supposed to see wasn't there that day. They rescheduled my appointment for February 8th, 2016. I went to the appointment and was told that I needed to see a genetic counselor before getting tested. I was also told that the results would take 3 to 4 months to come back. I made another appointment to see the doctor again in June. I also went and took the test to go ahead and get it over with. I was glad to have the test done, but had to wait for the results to come back. I was excited and nervous to actually find out if I have it or not. I got a neuropsychological evaluation done and felt really stupid afterwards. Everything came out on the evaluation, and I had not shown any major symptoms as of yet. A few months later, the test results, I was upset, relieved, happy, angry, etc. When I found out, but now I know I actually have the genes. I do not know, and I will start to show symptoms or how bad it will turn out. But now it's just a waiting game. I am trying to get SSI, food stamps, etc., since I do have it and I am a child of a parent with Huntington. The HDSA is, and there are at least 3 stages of Huntington. Uh, the first one, early stage HD, usually includes subtle changes in coordination, perhaps some involuntary movements, difficulty thinking through problems, and often a depressed or irritable mood. Medications are often effective in treating depression or other emotional problems. The effects of the disease may make the person less able to work at their customary level and less functional in their regular activities at home. In the middle stage, the movement disorder may become more of a problem. Medication or may be considered to provide relief from involuntary movements. Occupational and physical therapists may be needed to help maintain control of voluntary movements and deal with changes in thinking and reasoning abilities. Diminished speech and difficulty swallowing may require help from a speech-language pathologist. Ordinary activities will become harder to do. In the late stage, the person with HD is totally dependent on others for their care. Choking becomes a major concern. Chorea may be severe or it may cease. At this stage, the person with HD can no longer walk and will be unable to speak. However, he is generally still able to comprehend language and awareness of family and friends. When a person with HD dies, it is typically from complications of the disease, such as choking or infection, and not from the disease itself. Every person is different and will get symptoms at different times, but this is a degenerative disease that is incurable. My foot's falling asleep. In conclusion, Huntington's completely turned my world upside down. I would have never thought as a middle school student that my mom could have this devastating disease, or the possibility that I could have it too. The HDSA says that it is prohibited for anyone under 18 to take the test. I never knew that until I was told I couldn't take the test until I was 18. My mom's symptoms have gotten worse as time passed. I can't believe that my dad was told he had to divorce his wife in order for her to get help. I can't believe that I have this degenerative disease as well. I'm going to miss her when she does pass on. I pray and hope that she has a better time in heaven than she did on earth suffering from this awful disease. I wish I didn't have the gene at all, but what can we really do about our genes we're born with? Now that I have Huntington's, I want my kids to be tested for it. This was this was written in 2017, and some things have changed. Like, one, I no longer live with my dad. I live with my fiance, soon-to-be husband. My mom is now in a nursing home, and she has a feeding tube. I see a neurologist, a psychologist, and I'm also doing therapy to help manage my Huntington's. As of me recording this, I am 22. I'm going to be 28 in November. Hi, fiance.
nothing is so good. Thanks. Okay. Right, I have to go send something to them. That's fine.
Um, I now take I take depression and anxiety, and I'm taking Austedo for the movement. Like, and it also doesn't help that I have ADHD as well. Hmm. But I wanted to start making videos about this this particular video. How long have I been planning to make this video?
About 3 years now.
2 years? Yeah, sounds about right. Uh, and I'm just now getting around to it. And I think why it took me this long is I am not good at expressing myself, especially when it comes to talking about Huntington's, because it's hard for me to talk about. I don't know how the fluff to deal with all this bullshit. I'm gonna end the video here just because I don't know what the hell else to say, and I didn't have anything else planned. But trust me, more is coming.